I guess we can actually start. I'm not expecting anyone else, maybe except Jean-Miguel. But if he's not here, no, I don't think he's going to join us today. So, yeah, welcome to today's Orchestrator meeting. So I've wait some minutes. Hi, Jean-Miguel.
Hi, good morning.
So,
Hey guys.
Hi, Paul.
hi, Paul.
How are we all?
Oh, yeah, okay. So Kubernetes events module. The first topic on my list.
Good, because have we got a deal for you? That was my salesman coming through. The bug that we've got open with the pod name war, I started looking at that, and then I looked back at the trail for the original commit, and I noticed that one of the things that we thought we were getting, which we didn't, was the ability to sort of connect to an external Kubernetes, right?
Hmm?
So, i.e., we've got manager running on external, but it needs to push events into a Kubernetes elsewhere. So,
Yeah.
what I'm doing with this fix is also putting in a little patch there to allow it to push messages out to an external Kubernetes cluster.
Okay.
So, does that sound all right to you?
Do you already have a pull request open?
No, I don't. I haven't done the code yet. I'm still testing the RBAC rules.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with it.
So basically,
Just fixing that traceback would be enough for me, I guess.
yes.
So whatever you want to do,
I figured
I'm fine with it.
Since I've got what the Americans call it the hood, the English call it the bonnet, on the car to look at the engine. Since I've got that up and I'm looking at the engine, I'll do this bit that we missed last time. So I'll get that in, hopefully tomorrow. Like I say, I'm just sorting out the test through to make sure that we can do the RBAC rules. So I've got like an example of what that looks like. And what it'll entail is that there'll be a couple of extra module options to point at the external API server and the token file. And then once that's done, it should be fine.
Okay.
So that's
whatever you
first
prefer.
thing.
Whatever you prefer.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, like I say, I'll try and get it in tomorrow. The second thing is that Arun has spent some time looking at the work to consolidate between Rook and its handling of Kubernetes resource, which is the work you did, and then the work with K8 events. Yeah?
Yeah.
So it all looks good in terms of approach. So it looks like what we'll probably do is there'll be a follow-up sort of patch onto K8 events to use the Kubernetes resource. And then the downside is that we can't push everything through Kubernetes resource, because to actually generate an event, we need to be able to create one and write it. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be something, when we talk about Kubernetes resources, if we're actually writing them, then that makes it a little bit more outside the bounds of the current Kubernetes resource structure.
Yeah, I guess Kubernetes resource is mainly for reading and not for writing.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Also, whatever you prefer, I'm fine with it. We just shouldn't wait with the backbot until that Kubernetes resource thing is in.
So you're saying we shouldn't?
We should not wait. We should not wait.
No, that's fine. That's. I think that's what we had on our list to do anyway. We're going to get this fix in for the Podman piece as well as the external Kubernetes piece. We'll get that backported, and then we can focus on what we need to do for Master and for Octopus, which would be the rationalization. Yeah. And I guess that the follow-on question is that one of the things that we noticed when we looked at it between Rook and when it's creating resources and the way K8's events creates resources is that K8's events is using the Kubernetes client code objects, right?
Yeah.
To do stuff. Whereas Rook isn't. So Rook's basically creating a dictionary. And so what's your feeling about that? Do you have a strong feeling either way? Should we standardize on one way or the other?
I have a pull request open for that.
Ooh. Well, don't keep me in suspense. What is it? What does it do?
So the problem is that we don't have any predefined Python classes for these custom resource definitions. That's why the Rook module mainly uses dictionaries, but that's awful from a static type checking point of view. So you never know if you're doing any mistakes. And in this pull request, I'm introducing some auto-generated classes, very similar to Kubernetes client. I'm all in for Kubernetes client if it is possible to use it. And if it's not possible to use it, then I'm all in for auto-generating Python classes for these Kubernetes custom resource definitions, so that we can make sure that the API we get from Rook matches with our expectation or with the code within the manager model. So we have to we need some kind of API, and the auto-generated Python classes I'm introducing with this PR is a step in that direction. And I found a handful of bugs in these Python dictionaries because of that. So yeah.
Okay.
There is another pull request open or already closed. Let me look for it. Closed. Moment. There is another pull request that also makes more use of Kubernetes client. But that depends on a Kubernetes client version, which is not yet available in all distributions as far as I know. So I would be really happy if we could merge 24.1.48 because it would simplify things a bit more. So, yeah.
Sachin, just a question, Arun here. So does that mean the Kubernetes resource code will be rewritten in one of this style, 148 or in 29427 way? Do we have to wait for that to merge and then do the change?
You could approve it and review it. That would be tremendously helpful. But I don't think that you need to wait for it.
Okay.
Especially 148. 148 is just a minor fix that should not have any impact on other code.
Thanks, Sebastian. Got it.
So I'm going to be flippant now, but and I don't mean it. It's just to remove the dictionaries, we're actually putting in several thousand lines of code, right? That's the bottom line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
not several thousand lines of code, several hundred lines of code.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking at this saying there's one at 524, there's one at 284 new lines.
Yeah.
1,300 lines. Anyway, but
yeah.
Pros and cons, right? So when we say we're simplifying it, we're actually putting more code in, which potentially has more bugs, than what we had before.
I'm open to suggestions. If you have a better idea, please.
Just a certain amount of irony, with
yes. Really, that's a big downside of a pull request, indeed. And Kifu already saw that and is not really happy with it, and he's right. So, please, if you have a better idea.
If I get the time, I'll be in there and have a look. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. These auto-generated classes more relate to Rook and not relate to Ceph, so they should be more within the Rook project and not within the Ceph project. So they should actually be maintained within the Rook organization instead of the Ceph organization in GitHub. Yeah. It might also be possible to reduce the number of lines of code. I don't know. Anyway.
Okay. Two 9 4 2 7.
I like it.
There you go. You've got an upvote there.
Well, I think that there are too much lines of code, okay, but to have all the instead dictionaries objects with properties is well, it will be more easy to manage any kind of situation. So for me, it's a good idea. even if it is more lines of code.
I've discovered stuff that was never implemented in Rook, which was used in the Rook module. So it really had some benefits. Like for example, this was never implemented in Rook. Anyway, that's all I have for today.
I've got nothing else.
Kiefer did some mockups for the OSD creation. I guess that's worth sharing here. Kiefer, anything else from your side?
No, I just passed the trigger issue. If you have any comment, can leave your comment there.
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned before, we should not allow user to create Firestore OSD anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But does Firestore OSD already been deprecated? I think Ceph still support Firestore.
So the backends also support Firestore, but yeah, I would prefer to not allow Firestore within the dashboard, right?
Okay, for me, it's just an option in the drive go spec. But there will be some difference when you try to select the journal device or DB device.
Yeah.
Based on your object store.
Yeah, I would still prefer not to allow Firestore OSDs. If user really wants to do it, then there was the command line to create these kind of drive groups.
Yeah, I agree. Going forward, Blue Store, I wouldn't even present it as an option. Add an OSD, just get it.
Okay.
Is there a mock-up of the host side of things? Because I guess what I'm missing here is that it starts off with an inventory page where the nodes are, but if I'm adding a node to pick up its disks and the node doesn't already exist, is that going to be the more common thing than adding new disks to existing chassis?
Adding a new host is already there. in the dashboard.
Is it?
As far as I know.
Cool.
I guess I think it's already merged, right, Kiefer? So the host.
Yes, you can see the unprovisioned host in the list.
Oh, awesome.
And it's already merged.
So, okay.
Only
Be good to,
if
have you got
the sorry.
is there a demo somewhere, just like a screencast showing these new functions? Because I'm guessing that there's no Ansible for this. This is DeepC, is it? That's adding hosts.
DeepC doesn't support it. It's Ansible. The Ansible orchestrator is the only one supporting it right now. And the SSH orchestrator. But there is no support for adding hosts in DeepC or in Rook.
Who's picked up the SSH orchestrator?
No one. Noah did it last year, made a proof of concept, which, is nothing more than a proof of concept, basically.
Okay. Is Noah still around on the list?
No, Noah left Red Hat.
Yeah, I know. I was just wondering whether or not he's kept his hand in with Ceph, or whether he's just gone to pastures greener. So it sounds like he's moved on, and SSH orchestrator doesn't have a direct maintainer at this point.
Yes, that's true.
Right.
But we probably need to do something about that, because we want that to be a thing for the next release, right?
Sage wants to invest some time in
it. I was always a bit dubious because I can see some of the attractions of the SSH orchestrator, but the thing which confused me a little bit was that when we think of all the stuff that DeepC does and all the stuff that Ansible does, that preps the environment, puts all dependencies in. From what I saw with the orchestrator, it's all well and good as long as your Ceph binary is already there and all its dependencies are already there and the firewall's already done, and the list goes on. And if you end up having to do the same sort of deal with SSH side of things, you've just invented Ansible.
Yes.
Yeah, that's something that we need to be really wary of. Various of us have raised the same thing from time to time. It's something, in my opinion, it's something that we need to be very cautious about.
An old conversation, an old discussion about this, okay? And well, I think that everybody knows what each one is thinking about that, okay? And it seems that the direction that has been taken is to use the SSH orchestrator. The question for me, two questions. For example, you have said that the host management has been merged in the dashboard.
Yeah.
And and what orchestrator is using this functionality in the dashboard? In this moment, it's not possible to use that.
So the idea is to add that functionality also to DeepC and to
SSH orchestrator.
And SSH orchestrator. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and the other thing that for the moment, for me it's not clear, but I don't know if I'm completely not aware about what is happening in this part. Is SSH orchestrator is it seems that is going to be the way to do the things outside Rook, and I can see people too much people working in that or doing things. The only one that is doing something about the SSH orchestrator is you, Sebastian. So
And Sage.
and Sage. Okay. So let's wait for the proof of concept and let's see. I think that we need more effort in this part if we expect to have something. Okay, it's something that I think that is not. But I think that more resources should be assigned or in this part. It's my opinion.
Just ask Alfredo. He is very keen on getting rid of Ceph deploy, which is still used for environments where you don't want to have Ansible or DeepC or Rook. So Ceph deploy is still a thing, and yeah, Alfredo is very keen on getting rid of Ceph deploy.
Okay. Well.
Okay. Guess that's all for today.
If it's okay with you, Kiefer, I'll send your PDF to Ju, who was helping us on some of the dashboard work.
Yes,
just to get
please.
her comments as well.
Yes, please. I just wonder how can I get Ju's attention? Please send the tracker issue to her or the PDF.
No worries, mate. I'll do that for you.
Okay.
Okay. Then
Okay.
enjoy your evening
Thank you.
and have a nice day.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.